This is Scorpius9472 bringing you another video. Now, because of my 100 subscribers, I have been putting together a Q&A video so that you all may ask me a few questions. I have 8 questions here from a few of my subscribers, namely just 8 people. But I thank you all for participating in this Q&A. Also, I thank you all for subscribing to me, because obviously we've made it to 134 now, and I honestly cannot thank you all enough for all your support. Honestly, it's been a fucking brilliant year. It started in July, right? And I worked my way up, and we all did it together. All of us as a community, and I really do appreciate every one of you. So, to start off this Q&A, this question, it came in from the Noob Crafters. He says, "How dank are you on a scale of shooting stars to Yi?" How do you want me to answer that? Because I will answer that in the most random way possible. Noob Crafters, I am better than shooting stars. I am more Yi than you can handle. That's all you need to know. I am every sense of the word insane. I am more definitions of crazy than you can imagine. Try find all of those definitions of crazy in the dictionary, and then yeah, you'll have your answer. That's pretty much your answer, really. So let's move on, shall we? Here we have Zarek002 with his question: which do you prefer, retro games or modern? If so, why? Now, I don't mind modern or retro. I quite like them both. But personally, from a gamer's point of view, if I had to choose either one, I would go with retro games. Solely because the developers back then paid more attention to detail. And now that it is in modern games, just not all modern games, but majority of the games now focus more on graphics. And I feel as a gamer, you should have a sense of all aspects for the game. Music, characters, story, all of that plays a part in a game. And depending on which game it is, it could be an RPG, it could even be a strategy game. Now, example, Command & Conquer. That game is a strategy game in itself, right? Well, of course, because it's an actual strategy game. Because, you know. Anyway, my point is, Command & Conquer at least had a story that had a twist on World War II. In Red Alert, for instance, the Soviets rose to power instead of Hitler. Hitler was killed by Albert Einstein via the time travel device known as the chronosphere. Now that, in my opinion, was a fucking great twist on the story from World War II. And, you know, it's little ideas like that that make retro games so unique compared to the new games you see today. Now, I'll mention a couple of games that I really do like that are in modern day gaming, modern-ish, right? A couple of games that I will tell you that I do like from the modern games is Fear. Fear was made by Monolith, and probably one of the best AI I have ever come across so far. Now, you guys may argue about this, but the Fear games didn't lack in multiplayer, didn't lack in single player, because the single player story was absolutely brilliant. See, that was before, right? They started all this crap with Call of Duty and Battlefield. Obviously, those have their own campaign and multiplayer, but a lot of it was focused more on multiplayer. And I feel that the campaign aspect of games right now has lost its edge. I don't know about you guys, but I feel that a lot of it now is more focused on multiplayer, whereas before they didn't even have 2-player games. Not to mention, because you'd had games like Tomb Raider, you'd have games like, you know, Doom for the First World didn't even have co-op from the classic version. Then you've got games like Oh god, you got Crash Bandicoot, you got Spyro. You've got all those classic games that didn't have multiplayer because they didn't need it. Why on earth did they... they actually did not need multiplayer. And don't get me wrong, I do love multiplayer games, but that's just... you can't really mess with the system, you know? There's a couple of games out there that don't require multiplayer. But as an option, right? They should have it as an option, but they shouldn't solely focus on that. And I feel that's where a couple of games go on the downfall, especially with Call of Duty and Battlefield. And that's just my opinion on it. And you guys can comment whatever opinions you have. I'm free to discussion on what you guys may feel about retro games and modern day games. Thank you for that question, Zach. That was really cool. And for you, Noob Crafters, you crazy bastard. Now, as we go for the next question. Here's a question from OTGM Productions. That's Onyx the Gamer Man Machine Productions. And his question is, what inspires me, you, the most in life? Well, I'll tell you, Onyx. What inspires me most is helping others. Helping others to be the best that they can be. I don't like to see people in their own little hole that they can't get out of. You know, that little depression hole? Everyone's got one, right? I used to have one, but my friends and family and newfound girlfriend got me out of that one. I am well and truly thankful and grateful for everybody that helped me get out of that. And it's not just that anyway. I like helping people in general, but that's the main stig of things, right? I like helping people get out of that that dark place, that, you know, the dark depths of the water. That is very hard to get out on your own. And I feel that with my friends and family and the newfound girlfriend, it helped me so much. It built my confidence up and it got me out of there. And I don't want to see anybody in that state. So if I see anybody in that state, I will do my best to help them. And I think you can agree with this, Onyx. You like helping people. I've seen your channel grow so much, right? I know your channel may have been like, you know, with this much subscribers in you know, well before I even met you, but I've seen you've even told me you've helped various YouTubers, but I won't mention their names out of respect for them, right? But what you told me is golden, and I really do respect you for that. I hold my hand to my heart, and I respect you for that. You do yourself a favour by helping those people, and you really do really well on YouTube. I really do love your streams, and thank you for that question. That was a really nice one. We're going to move on from this one now because we don't want to get too into the mushy stuff, okay? But thank you so much, Onyx. That was really a nice question. We're moving on to the next one. Next question comes from Bink Deadpool. If you could live your life in a video game, where would you live? That is a tough one. There is a few games that I would like to live in, but if I could live in any, and this is from a vast majority of games that I have in my collection, plus in my mind right now, because as I think about it, I'm looking through a lot of games, right, and I'm looking through what things may appeal to me, and what appeals to me is playing the shit out of Doom. Honestly, I know there's like hell on earth and then in hell and everything like that, but I would honestly love to shoot and punch the shit out of demons all day long. You wouldn't even have to pay me. I wouldn't give a crap. I would be doing what I loved best. Kicking the shit out of Hellspawn for next to nothing. And as to quick fire the question back at you, Bink. If you could live your life in a video game, where would you live? Figure that one out. Right, let's move on to the next question. Here we have a question from Control-Alt-Dan. He says, or asks rather, name your favourite game of all time and favourite movie of all time. I'll move on to the favourite movie of all time first. It's a toss-up between 3 movies, right? And this is just, off the top of my head, because I'm not really sure, because I don't watch many movies, so to speak. So I can only just pick out maybe one of them that I've watched that I really, really did enjoy. And that was Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Barrels. Maybe Rock and Roller as well. And Warrior as well. All 3 of those tied into one. If I could pick movies, those 3 movies would be my type of movie. I love kind of seeing that sort of, action, punch 'em up, fucking gangsters, that sort of thing. So those sort of movies really, really take the cake on that one. As for favourite game, you needn't ask. My favourite game of all time, hands down, is Doom. The only reason why is mainly because I suppose I started playing it when I was 4. I always used to play with the cheats on, so I never really started out, playing without the cheats. I just kind of played with the God mode on, all the weapons and keys, because I would never like hearing the blood-curdling scream that the Doom guy used to make when he died. It was just horrific, and it was just like, it kind of scared me as a kid, so I was like, fuck this, I'm just putting all the cheats on. And funny enough, I used to put the X-ray cheat on as well, so I used to be able to see through walls and everything, which was kind of cool. But as I grew up playing the game, my dad just kept going, using cheats again. Such a wuss. And one day I just thought, you know what, fuck it, I'm just going to play without the cheats and see how I do. And amazingly, I can memorise all of the maps from the PlayStation version off by heart. I know where all the secrets are, and I know where every monster is on every difficulty, all the items, like that. You couldn't tell me right from wrong, because I know exactly everything there is to know about Doom. So you could literally ask me a lot of questions about it, and I would just answer you like that. Enough said. Boom. Cheers for that question, Control Alt Down. That was really awesome. Same for you, Big Deadpool. Right, we're moving on to the next one. Now, this question comes from Lady Boob's Views. Favourite game lore. Now, what game lore is the story and the background. Pretty much, it's the way you describe it is a ring fort, right? You see that the whole part of the game is in the middle, right? The thing that you play with the most, which is the game. And you don't really pay attention to the story if you are more in depth of the game. You pay a little bit of attention to the story, and that would be the castle at the top of the ring fort, right? But you don't really pay attention to what's outside, and that's the lore and the proper story. Now, my favourite game, the lore anyway, has to be Doom. Has to be Doom. It's a close tie between that and Warcraft, because that's got a nice little lore for it as well. But mostly Doom. The lore behind that, and Bink, Deadpool and Onyx will agree with me, possibly has one of the most interesting lores, especially when the new one came out. The new one, Doom 2016, or Doom 4, or just Doom, in any case. The lore from the runes, right? That was very, very interesting, and I found that it had a relative meaning towards the first 2 games, but it led on to something else, right? And that was Doom 64. Now I have never played Doom 64 because I've never had the fortune or, the great opportunity to. So I really need to find an N64 emulator and play the shit out of it. Which I will do, and I possibly may record it. We'll just see how that goes. But, thank you for that question, Lady Boobs Views. And we'll move on to the next one. Now this question comes from Time Bunny. What inspired you to start doing YouTube? Okay, so I'll tell you. Simply because I like playing games. I like helping other people, which weighs in on the fact of what happens when I do YouTube. Sorry, bloody phone went off. The only reason why I'm on YouTube, right? And I'm not saying this is the only reason. There's probably like thousands of reasons why I'm on here. But I'll just give you the basic ones, which are, I like helping people, right? I like the fact that I can film and share my experience in games with you, all of you guys. And you may not be able to get the chance to watch them all, right? And that's fair enough, because everybody's human and they have their own little lives to live. Pretty much as the same as I am, right? I don't have enough time in the world to be able to watch everybody's videos, but if I can make the effort, I will do so, right? And that is the same for everybody. Everybody's in the same boat. Anyway, moving off that, because I'm running off a tangent here. What made it, for me, was being able to find a community where everybody could help each other to grow and to kind of laugh, get angry and cry together, because, you know, we're all in this together, more or less. We're all small YouTubers in our own little way. You know, we're either below 100 or up to 1,000 or even more. And I honestly can't wait until I reach that goal. I want to get to that point. And I want to get to that point with all of you guys. And I really do appreciate all of you guys, because you've helped me so much. You've gotten to me, you've helped me get to this point and where I am today. And I can't say I haven't met a group like this in fucking years. It's been a while since I met a group of people like you guys, and I honestly can't say, you know what, there's no words for it really. Honestly, feel so grateful for all you guys. So that was a really nice question, Time Bunny, thank you. And we'll move on to our two last questions of this particular Q&A in celebration of my 100 subscribers, and let's have a toast to 100 more, but let's get these last two questions through first. So, this next question is from Oh Look It's Mikey. Mikey has asked, what is your favourite part of Dying Light so far? And what I can tell you, right, from my storyline, from the storyline so far, I have to say, well, I'm not really going to say much about the storyline because I don't want it to spoil it for anybody who wishes to go buy the game and play it. Because I feel if I say anything about the story, it will just discourage you guys in wanting to play it. So what I can say from gameplay wise, right, which is not really giving any spoilers away, it's just pretty much how the game plays. How the game plays, I fucking love it. The parkour mixed in with zombie fighting and survival, and just being able to find loot and make weapons, it's fantastic. Obviously it's another Dying Light simulation sort of thing, you know, where you gotta find your own loot to be able to make weapons and stuff like that and do quests and whatnot. But, you know, that's pretty much what those survival games are about, more or less. But with Dying Light and Dead Island, I think they made the right approach. Whether it's 7 Days to Die, I feel like it's maybe one of those backwards games. Not backwards, but like it's one of the games that didn't really lift off as much as the other two, I feel. Not saying it's a bad game, but, you know, it's just one of those games that probably people would move to last. You know, one of those last resorts. But, you know, I could be wrong and everybody could be sat here like, what the fuck are you talking about? 7 Days to Die is brilliant. It may be, but, you know, I haven't played it fully yet, so I don't know. You see, that's my knowledge of it. And Badger will probably be like, oi mate, it's brilliant. Fucking shut it. I'm sorry, Badger. Don't get triggered. Like Dan does. Yes, I'm talking to you, Dan. You know as well you get triggered. Anyway, but so far, right, my favourite part is being able to be able to make your own bow and arrow and your own arrows. because that shit helps out a lot, man. You have no idea how hard it is to be beating the shit out of these zombies with melee weapons without making any sound. You can instant kill these zombies with a bow, with the arrows from this bow, and you can switch up to explosive, fire, and some other, I think it's like corrosive or something, or toxic, which is kind of epic in my understanding, which is absolutely brilliant. Now, the last question of this Q&A for the celebration of my 100 subscribers. Let's move on to that, shall we? And the last question is, well, there was an unfortunate scene of events that couldn't be dismissed. My girlfriend was going to ask a question, but I couldn't get hold of her, so there's no hard feelings. She may ask me a question on the bloody video after I've posted this up. But, do you know what? I'm going to ask you all a question. Right? And this is a general question that everybody usually asks. And it's usually, it was the question, more or less the question of what Time Bunny asked me. So I'm going to ask all of you, right? What inspired you to do YouTube? Why did you start it? What was your drive, and what did you hope to get out of it? Was it fame? Was it glory? Did you want to do it because it was just something fun to do, or did you want to profess in this line of work? Because let's get something straight, it is work. It's hard work, you know? Trying to upload twice a day, or, you know, twice a week, or whatever time frame that you guys want to upload, or you do upload, whatever, it's quite hard. You know, you've got work, or you've got course, or you've got other things in life that you must be focusing on as well. So, yeah, take that question into account and come up with an answer. I challenge you all to that answer. Anyway, this has been Scorpius9472, and thank you guys so much again for this wonderful 100 subscribers. It's been amazing, and let's head on to 200 and let's see what we do for that 200 subscriber video. Maybe we'll do a challenge, and maybe I won't be such a pussy, and you know, I'll actually come up with some brilliant idea instead of going for a Q&A. That was referenced at you, D-Rock Gaming, you bastard, I'll kill you. I'm only joking. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you. Goodbye.